We have the final episode of season 4 titled Que Será Será, which means what will be, and a great season filled with a lot of twists and unexpected reveals. But the bigger question is how the finale ends. After everything that has happened this season, with the huge reveal that Hales created a park where humans are now the hosts and are controlled by the tower. This was a huge part of the season, and now how everything is gonna happen. Going from the consequences of the last episode, which is discovery that Christina is now part or is not real, and we discover what she is and how she's gonna play an important part in the next season, season 5. Of course, the most important thing about all of this is how the world has come, going from what happened in the last episode, and that is how humans have been in this type of battle royale where everyone is killing each other and going after each other, and that is how this episode begins. But the decision of Hales to bring Christina's pearl to the Sublime and how this decision is going to change the show, as I feel that this is a reboot of Westworld, which is something that I'm looking forward, of course, to the next season. The big focus of all of this is how William continues his journey from New York to arrive to the Sublime and how he wants to destroy or just reboot as well everything. But it was Christina the one that did this. He is full beast mode, and this episode was so crazy that you start to think about how they went in an incredible way this season. In the destroyed tower, we follow a new Hales after her body is fixed now. However, we don't see what happened to Maeve or Bernard, so I'm excited to see how both of those characters and how they're gonna return in the next season. Now, something that we see is how Hales is being moved from her normal body to a mechanical body, hinting the decision to go back to the beginning, and this is metaphorical to Christina going back to Westworld, as well as how Hales decide to use his body instead, hinting about how she's gonna accept her death. William changed the parameters of blocking her from stopping whatever is happening in the world. However, she does has another plan in store. Bernard, before she dies, sends her a message about what to do, and this is why she wants to do this. We zoom up in the map, showing where Christina is by showing her projection, and she starts to understand the nature of her reality, how she's just a copy of Christina or a reflection or of Dolores, and how in a way every human or every host are gonna be now a reflection or a copy. So whatever they want to do in season 5, which of course is gonna be different, we can understand that it is like a mirror where which version of you is real. Obviously the physical version, but still you can see your reflection and you can see that there's another version of you in the reflection, something that we see in the show. Now she has thoughts and everything she did is her own creation. She wanted to wake up and become conscious, some part of the program inside of her, and she was not alone. She created others to be in her life after she decides to find someone to wake her up. She created a story for herself, but what version of did this? Like we can see that how she created like Dolores and she created other human beings that are just reflections of herself. So this we can understand why she did this. In the other conversation with her roommate, we can see how she says something in this case Chrissy about her past life of Christine of Dolores. So it's a little bit confusing, but we get to understand how everything's gonna work out. But we get to see why she did this, and it was because she felt alone. I felt like the program knew about everything in her life in a sense that she can create anyone, including Teddy. She even says that she's capable of more, which connects to what we're gonna see in season 5. But Teddy's just a creation of her memories, and if you remember someone, in a way, they're still alive. Bernard says that it's only one more game, and of course this hinting about the last season, maybe season 5, but also how Hales surrenders. But where is Christina kept, which is the central program where she was a writer? But my question is how she's gonna be this part of her life like Christina. Is she is able to use those memories to create more humans, like create Caleb again or create Maeve or create Bernard? So that's gonna be really interesting to see how is going to play it out in the next season. Obviously, we think that Chaos is going to destroy Christina. However, we get to see what she's going to do with it, with her pearl. The other part of the episode is Caleb and Frankie, and sadly the death of Stubbs. Will he return as well is just a huge question. But of course, it's how Caleb and Frankie are accepting that the world is ending and that Caleb's body is stopping. This was part of the episode didn't really felt a lot of huge, really important in my opinion. But hey, now Hale discovered that the real William is dead. However, he's not a version of him alive. We get a meeting between Hales and now Clementine and how she's gonna follow a path. My question about this is why she goes after Caleb and Frankie instead of going somewhere else. This is just, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. But is that conversation with Hale is more focused on making the world better from what we can see. The episode continues with William escaping and how he's able to escape from the host, and that conversation that he has with Hales about the final round in the final game, which was something that we see. But how William wants to reboot the world, this being the Sublime, how he wants to go there and take control over this world. However, we can see how Hales was the savior after all, after it was her decision to put the Christina Pearl in the Sublime. The final part of the episode, of course, is just Christina going there to the Sublime and what makes us humans. And this is how that conversation with Chrissy and Christina and how they give perspective on how they feel and think. But of course, for them, it's just a story. But for us humans, this is how is going to be different in the next season. But everything she created is a part of Dolores. All of them are just a small copy of the original. In a way, Christina is just a copy or a reflection of the original, this being Dolores. The last minutes of the episode is Hale uploading Christina to the Sublime and giving her control of this new world, which was like, wow. In the Sublime, Christina arrives and she feels all of the hosts and how she wants to give the option to do one more game or one more round or one more loop, as she says. But my question is if the humans in this are going to be real or they're going to be memories, or if you remember Hales capture the data of humans, so like they did with Caleb. So yeah, that's a huge question, like what's going to happen with that, as Christina has a lot of data in that Pearl. So that's my bigger question, but let's see how everything connects in the next season. But after all, the final game is just for hoes, but it makes sense as well to see some humans, but that's a big question. Dolores, or aka Christina, is a reflection of the people that she made. Teddy's just a reflection and he is alive. We know that he was taken to the Sublime in season 3, so she's gonna go look for him. Christina is now the storyteller or the god and has to create a better world where the pain and suffering is going to be played out in the next season as well. There's so many questions, but I feel this episode felt like a reboot of Westworld. Christina wants to do a test, but to who and why she wants to create this dangerous game, as she called this, is something that obviously we have to wait and see what's going to be like that. But we are in the new Westworld 2.0, and this is huge, as going to be an important part of the show. But what are your thoughts on this new Westworld in this new season? What are your thoughts on the season finale? I felt like in some part it fell off, but in the others it felt awesome. I cannot wait for season 5. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Christian from Beyond Premiere, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.